So hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Ilea. This is kind of probably a confusing video because I've never posted something like this. And I'm an artist and I usually post music videos and like songs I've written and covers and all sorts of stuff. And I'm just kind of getting into this world of, you know, posting on YouTube. And I think the reason why I'm doing it is because I found a lot of great tips through YouTube and I realized that I think I could help as well. This is my hormone-free birth control story and why I quit birth control. And also I wore a really mature shirt for talking about something very important, Looney Tunes, you know, whatevs. If you watched a couple of my videos, I encourage you to subscribe because there's a lot of exciting videos to come. I have planned, it's gonna be great. This one's on a more serious kind of note, but not really. Some people are gonna get weird. I do wanna say to start off with, this is what works for me. I think with everything in life, not everything is such a blanket response. All that to say, like, this is something that has worked for me. I'm not saying that the way that you do it is wrong or that you should change your ways. I'm just gonna give you some facts, things that I have researched to death and how I felt about it. So if you have different opinions, that's cool. Like, we can be friends. Let's just get into it. So my husband and I have been together for about 7 years. And when we first started dating, I was 19 and obviously not prepared or ready to have a child personally. And so I went on birth control. I think we used barrier methods until maybe I was like 20. And then I went on birth control for about 6 to 9 months in the ages of 20, in between like 20 to 21. I have been paleo or organic or just as healthy as I can for about 3 years now. And even before then, I was very in tune to my body. So like if I eat something bad, if I eat gluten, again, not saying you don't have to eat gluten, not everybody has an allergy, but I've just been always very in tune with my body. And so once I started birth control, it didn't take long for me to start feeling different. Dave did not notice any of this. This is all things that happened internally. I noticed when I started birth control, like my depression got really bad. I was never a depressed kid. Like, I mean, I was 20, but like I noticed that like I was just sad about stuff and I was depressed and I was not optimistic and my like stress levels were like weird and I could tell like I was not that way before, and then suddenly like after a couple of weeks or months, I don't really know how it happened. It just like, once it hit, it was like, whoa. Like, I have to stop this right now. And internally, and Dave knows, Dave and I have talked about this very in depth. It's why we decided to do what we did. I definitely got like paranoid. I was like in my head, like I hear stories about women who are like very paranoid about where their husbands and significant others are. And maybe you have good reason to, that's cool. I don't know your backstory. This is just my personal story. I'm not projecting it on you, but I've never been that way. I've always been very secure in David and I's relationship. And so when I started birth control and like the hormones started taking effect, I got crazy. Like internally, like I didn't like project it that much, but internally, like if he didn't respond to a text, I like instantly created a story in my mind about how he was with his ex-girlfriend or he met someone new or like was doing something bad, and like I never had any reason to believe that. It just made me not myself. Like really, I've always been a pretty joyful person and happy and optimistic and I don't know, just like laid back. But when I started birth control, everything started to change. And I could tell inside my body that I was like, Dave, something's happening psychologically with me. Like I feel depressed. And we were pretty early on in our relationship. And I said, I feel like it's the birth control and I'm feeling depressed and I'm feeling a lot of anxiety and I'm paranoid towards you, and I think my hormones were just like, I don't know if it was just overload or just imbalance or what it was, but I had some weird stuff going on that I was not happy with. And so after like 6 months, I told Dave that I was like, we're gonna have to change methods. Like this can't, I can't be this way. I don't want to live my life this way. And I really don't like the science behind it. I don't like the thought of tricking my body into thinking that, you know, basically it's pregnant for a long time and switching my natural cycle. Why would I want those additional chemicals in my body? I wasn't as healthy then, but looking back now, I'm kind of grossed out that I even had it in my body for 6 months, but I'm just happy that I researched it and followed my instinct and followed my body and what it was telling me of like, whoa, cut it out. Like, this is not happening. It's not working. Like, this is not good long-term. Mind you, a lot of people do it okay on birth control long-term, and that's fine. You do you, I'll do me. It's cool. It took like a year to get back to normal. Oh, and not to mention my gut health changed. And I know that's maybe a weird phrase to some people because you don't think about your gut health and your gut biome and stuff, but like my digestion changed significantly when I was on birth control, and it has never been the same, like never been the same. So this whole journey and this health process has been me trying to basically correct what went wrong. I mean, I did it to myself with what pills I took that damaged me. So I'm just putting this video out there because I feel like maybe some people are like, I don't think birth control is for me, and they don't quite know where to start with research because there's a lot of conflicting articles. Well, all this to say, I have an article, just a little piece of article I want to read. I'll put a whole bunch of crap in my description. So birth control side effects. Birth control pills, patches, shots promotes continually raised estrogen levels in a woman's body. Something that's neither natural nor very safe. A woman's natural menstrual cycle is composed of raising and falling levels of estrogen and progesterone. Birth control pills work by keeping estrogen at an unnaturally high level all month long, high enough to even fool the body into thinking that it's already pregnant. Since the body perceives high estrogen levels as a sign of pregnancy, it stops ovulating. And therefore, when taking the pill, another pregnancy cannot occur. According to the Food and Drug Administration, it has been found that the effects of continually raised estrogen levels in the female body due to taking birth control pills may include potential increased risk of breast cancer, potential increased risk of blood clotting, heart attack, stroke, headaches or migraines, gallbladder and liver problems, including benign tumors. Cool. Increased blood pressure, weight gain, mood changes. Some women experience symptoms of depression and anxiety, nausea, cramping, irregular bleeding, and spotting between periods, breast tenderness. And then it says the 5 dangers of birth control pills. I am so hot, I'm taking this off. Sorry, give me 1 second. This is the one I want to get to. The National Cancer Institute tells us that the risk of developing breast cancer is around 1 in 8 for the general public. But studies done by doctors such as Chris Collinborn, MD from Altoona Hospital in Altoona, Pennsylvania, indicated that women who took oral birth control before having their first child have a 44% increased risk of developing breast cancer. That would bring your risk of developing breast cancer to 1 in 5. So I just want to reiterate that I am not saying that what you are doing is wrong, because there are a lot of different situations where birth control and pills are completely necessary and you gotta do what you gotta do, and I get it. I'm saying for me in my personal situation, I don't have to. I'm in a secure relationship with my husband, and if we were to get pregnant right now, like my life would be fine. Like we would be fine. We would figure it out because we were in a committed relationship and we've been together for a long time. I also know that since the cancer risk is 1 in 5 if you're on birth control, that is not a risk that I wanted to take, because our nation, our country, we have such processed and nasty food that we consume on a daily basis that like our risk for cancer is up. And then the pills that people take for a symptom, and then the pills that they take for that symptom, and then they take another pill for that symptom, and then they're on like 15 pills because their doctor just keeps piling it up. And I think there's a reason why cancer is so high right now. Not saying that nobody has brought it on themselves. I just think we're not very educated on the things we should eat and the vitamins we should take. And there's a lot of things, environmental factors, all that aside. But for me, I didn't like how it made my body feel, and I didn't want long-term damage for me, and because I do want kids someday. And I know a lot of people, a lot of women who have been on birth control for 10 years and they've tricked their body for years into thinking that they're pregnant, and then the second they go off birth control, like, I'm trying to get pregnant, and then it doesn't happen. And I feel like crap for them, but like, you've taken this pill that told your body that you didn't want, like that you basically been pregnant for 10 years and you're just suddenly wanting to have a baby. And that's why I think birth control long-term is causing infertility, and that's kind of a lot of people's struggles. I don't really want to get into it because I'm gonna get a lot of hate from this, but this is my opinion, and if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe and go away. So I am fortunate enough that I have a loving and wonderful husband, and I had he was my boyfriend at the time when I said, hey, I'm going off birth control. I'm not doing this to my body. I feel like crap, and I don't want to do this to myself long term. So, and he was like, absolutely. I don't want you to feel like crap either. And I think that's important if you have a significant other that is opposed to it and just wants you to be on birth control and doesn't really care about your well-being. If these symptoms are happening to you, you should probably reconsider your relationship, because they should want the best for you. And that's what Dave did. He said, absolutely, we will figure it out. We will make this work. And now we're 7 years later and we're still without a baby. So, and we haven't had any babies and had any scares, so we're fine. What I'm saying is there is an alternative method. So, that being said, that was more wordy than I had intended, but here we go. If you are having these symptoms and you want to make a change for yourself and you want to feel your absolute best, then you could try the DAYSY. This is probably the best money I've ever spent. I'm sure you've heard of this FAM method, and it's kind of that, and it basically, I wake up every morning, I take this off, I stick it under my tongue, and I take my temperature. And based off of what it tells me, so I'm gonna turn this on. So this green light means I'm not fertile. And this is gonna get uncomfortable because I know my mother watches this and my mother-in-law watches this, but it's happening. It's happening. If you're uncomfortable, you can skip past the next 2 minutes. So by this being green, which means that if Dave were to ejaculate, I would not get pregnant. And that's what it's done. It keeps me not pregnant, which is great. And on days that it's not sure if I'm fertile or not, it's yellow. If I am fertile, it's red. Red means no go. So you use other methods, pull and pray, whatever you decide, whatever kind of relationship you're in. But you do have to be very, very faithful with, you wake up in the morning and before you grab your cell phone, before you check your email, before you do anything, you stick it under your tongue and you take your temperature. It takes 20 seconds. I'm literally most of the time half asleep. I put it in my, I put it on there, fall back asleep, and then the beeping wakes me up, and then I wake up and then I go about my day. And then I know that day that I am whatever I am. It comes with an app. It's called DAYSY View. So this is my DAYSY app. So as you can see here, the red days I'm clearly fertile, and there's a red dot right here. That means that's the day that I ovulated. On the 11th, you can see that it was still calculating. And then the 12th through the 26th, I was not fertile. So we would have been fine to have carefree, vigorous sex or whatever we wanted to do. TMI, but why not? And then the 21st, 22nd were my first 2 days of my period. On the 23rd, clearly I forgot to log it. And how you log it, so you turn it on and it beeps once. And mine, I've already logged it for today. See that purple and that violet color? That is it telling me that I'm on my period. And I've confirmed it this morning by holding it down, and it confirms my period. So, TMI, I'm on my period, you're welcome. And then somewhere in the month of January, they updated their app and you could start logging when you had intercourse. Different things that I don't really keep track of because I really just want the bare minimum. That's as much as I want to commit right now. I want to just am I good to have fun, or am I we gotta be more cautious? That's all I wanna know. That's the extent. You can see your temperatures from as far back as you've taken it, and it's awesome. And it tells you how many fertile days you've had, how many not fertiles, 2 learning days. You can contact an expert and they're super fast to respond, and it's awesome. And they have an FAQ, and there's still some bugs they're working out in their app, but regardless, DAYSY is accurate. So I might do another video like this where we talk to Dave and how he felt about going on it, because it was something that we were hesitant about, but I did my research to death. And I hope that if you were doing research to try to look for alternative methods to preventing pregnancy or even get pregnant, because like you could use this in reverse. Like it's whatever you're trying to do. Like it's crazy that just by your temperature, it can tell you like whether you're fertile or not and whether you like can have a baby. It's crazy, it's awesome. It's been a great investment. I say investment because it's pretty pricey. So when I was on birth control, I paid about $30 a month. Okay, this is I think it's $300 on their website, but I found a coupon and I got it for $260. So 30 times 12 is $360. So we just had to pay one time $260, and this is no promo. This is just me. It has helped me, and I've been able to like feel confident that I'm doing everything I can to prevent health problems and to live in the best way possible and be as healthy as I can and feel as good as I can. And if you're someone who already is prone to depression and anxiety, maybe birth control isn't the best for you. Maybe, I don't know, you do you, but you know, life is just sucks sometimes and it's an emotional roller coaster. And if you are in a down season and you're already on like a downer, a depressant, like that's what birth control is, it's a depressant. And so maybe it's not the best for you because it might affect you in a very, very negative way. So this just like, really, it's like, it made me happy. I'm confident. Again, I'm in a committed relationship with my husband, and so we don't need to use barrier methods because we are secure in our relationship, and we're married. We've been married for 2.5 years and together for 7. And so this is what works great for me. It's something to consider. DAYSY has been really great. They did go through an app update, which got a little wonky for a second, but I think it's great because I know they had a lot of comments and complainers about, whoa, it's not syncing, and I would be lying if I didn't say that I sent a couple of questions like, hey, how do I handle this? And they kept everybody up to date on their Instagram, and it was awesome. But what people don't need to realize is that like to grow and to make things better, sometimes things are gonna get weird for a second. And so like, you know, when I went off birth control and went on to DAYSY, like, yeah, like it was a no-brainer. Like I feel so much better. It's so great. And it comes with the little like cord. It plugs into the DAYSY, and then I have to use a dongle thing. I don't know what it's called. It's just like an adapter. I plug it into my phone and I sync it. It's syncing. It does sometimes miss logging a period sometimes for me. So like I'll just like turn it on a couple times, like push the button. It is kind of a hard button, not a hard button to push, but like you have to be pretty aggressive with it. But it does sometimes skip periods, like telling me when the period is after I've logged it. That's the only downfall. But at least I know that the temperature is right. Like I'm okay if the app is a little wonky, because even if you wanted to, you could just use this and not use the app. Like if this tells you green, it's go time. If it's red, no go. If it's yellow, just be cautious and maybe use an alternative method. But that is something that I don't love about it, and it's not, they're still working out the bugs. Give them some grace. They're doing a really great job. They're making it really easy for all of us to not get knocked up or to get knocked up, because someday, I'm hoping that someday when we decide to reverse it, that we won't have trouble getting pregnant, because we will already have a long history of my cycles, and I'll be able to tell when to get pregnant and when's the best time, and hopefully someday it'll be easy. I don't know. The algorithm behind the DAYSY works. The database within each device contains menstrual cycle data of women from real life scenarios. Many kinds of specific and diverse menstrual cycle scenarios have been integrated into the database over these 30 years, including menstrual cycles affected by stress, lack of sleep, alcohol, and other factors. These data come from our practical experience working with millions of women over 3 decades. So it's all like an algorithm and based off your temperature. And hey, I'm just saying, I ain't knocked up yet. And despite my mother-in-law's wants for that, this is really working for us. And do your research, and it's $330 right now on their website, but I found a coupon. Maybe you can find a coupon, or you can do a payment plan. I Could not recommend DAYSY more. So there are options for preventing pregnancy in a natural, holistic, hormone-free way. So yeah, this got into way more than I had anticipated, but I appreciate all of you for watching. If you have any nice comments, feel free to leave them down below. This was just a very raw TMI kind of video, but it's something that I feel like is very important, and I'm a very natural hippie person besides my makeup. We've talked about this, but if you like this type of video, let me know. Hit like, comment, all that good stuff. Let me know. But yeah, I appreciate you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.